Gresley is usually credited for his Pacifics and other three-cylindered locomotives, but he could build a decent two-cylindered tank engine when demand called for it. The N2s were a similar supplement to the Ivert N1s from 1907, sharing the same boiler and wheels. The distinguishing feature with the N2s was the addition of piston valves on top of the cylinders, meaning the boiler had to sit noticeably high in the frames. 107 engines were built between 1920 and 29, and just to make things confusing, they were separated into 4 subclasses depending on height, sanders, lubrication gear, depth of the ashpan, which side the driver would stand, and most interestingly, condensers. This one, being one of the original N2/1s, was fitted with condensing gear in a bid to save on water and reduce complaints about dirty shirts in tunnels. Unfortunately, with the condensing gear in place, water sloshing around in the tanks tended to carry over into the cylinders, causing the engines to hydraulic. This was only rectified when baffle plates were fitted inside the tanks, but even so, drivers would exercise caution on these engines. Although initially intended for King's Cross suburban work, later batches of N2s ended up on similar duties in Scotland, working as far north as Dundee. Sadly, being suburban engines, they were first in line for replacement by modern traction. Once dieselisation began to spread, the first N2s began to go in 1955. Great Northern No. 1744, or LNER 4744, or British Railways 69523, do try to keep up, was one of the last to be withdrawn, going in September 1962. Thankfully, within a few years, she was selected for private preservation, and would go on to spend more than 40 years at the Great Central Railway. She's the only pure Gresley tank engine left, and there's no denying her sheer size makes Birch Grove look like a terrier.